All right, be quiet. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. All right, honor, praise, and glory be to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Wahagadah Shukah, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and giving me the Holy Spirit, allowing me, which allowed me to continue these series while we're still here, and give all diligence to make my election, call it short. Double honors to the apostles. I hope, and hopefully something in this volume that can be edifying and exhorting to the flock, to the sheep of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, which will be the house of Israel. All right, but and that being, how it's time to start meditating, more on His saving strength, and acts, because the scripture tells us the time and the season, for everything, and that's what it's definitely. That's definitely what's in season right now. All right. So double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone, and double honors to all the hopefully elect elders, true teachers, true prophets, and those aiding in this ministry in truth and sincerity. All right. The house of David, Habayat Dawadah, the house of David, those slaves to be saved, man, and hoping to be saved, which according to the scriptures, the holy scriptures, will be none other than the elect and 1/3 of the Israelite race, which we understand and know according to the Spirit, according to the truth, according to the scriptures, according by fact, to be these so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, West Indians, so-called Afro people scattered abroad that have repented and are back in on the truth of the matter, all right? And those that are waking up as we get to the end. But anyway, closer to the end of the end. This is Joshua 1:8. This is the book of the law. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate. See that? But thou shalt meditate therein out of thy mouth. Salaki. Bear with me just a moment. But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous. See that? And then thou shalt have good success. So we're in the times of destruction, famine, beginning of sorrows, for the Lord. But He told us, if we meditate in the book of this law, which is the whole book, day and night, pretty much. He said, then we're gonna make our way, successful. We're gonna make our way prosperous. All right. And what I want to do by the Spirit, I want to go ahead. I want to get that word. Let's get that word. Got the word of God.
Strong's H 1897. Haggah.
Tamon, growl, utter. See that? devise, plot, speak, imagine. So yeah, the He wants us to imagine. It also goes into the strong definition where it says in pleasure or anger. You know, you want to meditate because in the anger part, it says we're gonna meditate terror. So we're gonna imagine the things that the Lord said we're gonna do to these people. You know what I'm saying? The violence that He said Babylon will be thrown down with. He wants us to meditate in this book. He wants us to imagine those things, and we'll be imagining those angry things, which is goes into for example, let's just get a quick example. This is Ezekiel in the 25th chapter, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 13. So I'm gonna jump to the point. Verse 14, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. See, so he's going to use, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. He's going to allow you. He's going to make you those of you that know this truth, and even some of the 2/3. He's going to allow us to lay our hand. He's gonna lay his hand on us by using our hands. You see what I'm saying? On Slock, he's gonna lay his hands on them, on these so-called white people, these fake Jews, by using our hands. It says, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger. See, there it is, which is uh, uh, a part of meditating, because you're either meditating, which is imagining the angry things, imagining, studying on the angry things, because the word also goes into meaning studying, which is obviously we're talking about the meaning to the word meditate, obviously. So back to that, you either imagining the meaning saying you imagine, so and it says what, pleasure or anger. So he said he want us to imagine the anger therein, because a lot of that, I brought that out since I bring this out to say that these particular, pretty much these particular prophecies that obviously deal with anger, they're outright dealing with anger. That's what this is literally saying. This is Ezekiel 25:14, and I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashmi al Shah. All right, Yahweh. But anyway, that's that. All right. So he want us to, we supposed to be what? Going back into the word Hagah, which is, Hebrew for the word meditate in Joshua 1:8.
Strong's H 1897. Hagah.
He wants us to imagine, you see, that anger, and then he'll make our way he'll make that'll make our way prosperous, our way he'll make our way successful, you see. And then it also says pleasure. That's the good news. That's when we delivered out of here. And that's the main part I want to focus on with this quick lesson. It says, look, by implication, this is continued in the Strong's definition. It's the Strong's definition. It says to ponder, you see, to ponder, imagine, mourn, mutter, roar, soar, speak, study, talk, utter. See that? See if we can get something else. Of the sound of a harp when struck. So when you speak, it's to when you're meditating, if you open your mouth during that process, this is how you should sound. You see what I'm saying? Either pleasurable, or angry, if you're meditating in these scriptures, because that's what it's a balance, pleasure and anger, good against evil. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, calm. It says hence to utter sound. It says poetically to speak. It says of the cooing of doves, and we know this Holy Spirit is compared to a dove. All right. It says of the groaning and sighing of men. You see that? Which goes into what Daniel was that Ezekiel 9 when he said set a mark upon the head of those that sigh and cry. All right, because those will be the people that's what they're meditating. You see what I'm saying? And they're meditating on, you know, the pleasure and the anger, of the scriptures, of the prophecies, which will cause you to sigh and cry because one, we're hearing about the glory that's going to be revealed, but yet, it ain't here and we need it. You see what I'm saying? Yet here it is, we're reading about the anger, that the Lord has, and it's making us angry, and He's gonna use us to fulfill that anger. You see what I'm saying? To bring out that anger, which is obviously needed, but yet we're not able to. All throughout the process, these heathens, they're messing with us, So that's why you will end up sighing and crying. See that? AKA groaning and the sighing of men. You see, that's what this is in the Hebrew Chaldean lexicon, by the way, for the meaning of meditate. And I want to grab that real quick. This is Ezekiel 9 and 4. And the Lord said unto me, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Salaki, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done, you see, in the midst thereof. See, and listen to this. And to the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. You see, let not your way, so their way wouldn't be prosperous. Why? Because they're not sighing and crying. Sighing and crying, going back to what? Meditating, man. See that? It says, so if you're not meditating, you're not on the anger and pleasure that you're supposed to be, pleasure and anger. You won't make your way prosperous. So this is why we know meditating is important. But now it's really time to meditate on particular things. You see what I'm saying? Because when we do that, we'll be prosperous. So if you're trying to be prosperous and not being destroyed in a time of destruction and falling, subject to these things that's going on, the Lord allowing the devil, to just, he's letting his pit bull, man, off the shalom, shalom. All right, he letting his pit bull off the leash, man. His serpent pit bull, man. Anyway, if you're not doing that, you're not you're gonna fall victim to those things. So this is why we will meditate not only to make our way prosperous, but obviously to meditate on the scriptures that's written on us escaping from those things. Literally meditating on that, and it will become that. And at that point, you will be prosperous in that. You see what I'm saying? In those ways, you'll be prosperous. Or people losing their money, their jobs, or whatever it may be, the way they make ends meet or whatever. They're losing their health. You will meditate on the scriptures that go into when our health was made whole, how our health is made whole. When those lost what they had. You see what I'm saying? And like really, because that's what happened to Job. Job he went into a meditation. You see what I'm saying? And his old man fell victim. If you will. I wouldn't say that exactly, but that's an example because basically you got to see two Jobs. You had the first Job, that caught hell, that went through everything. You see what I'm saying? And then you got the second Job, which was the Job that was successful. You got the Job that was without, and the Job, and that was due to really, obviously the Lord turned him over, but it was really due to what he had went through. You see what I'm saying? What he had done. And that's what the second Job had over him, which is the Job that wasn't without. because why? He went through the process. He was meditating the whole time in those conversations. His heart was he was uttering, you know, he was sighing, he was crying, he was due to all the things he knew. You see what I'm saying? And understood, and that's what got Job, on point. That's what made Job's way prosperous when he started doing that. The more he continued to do that, it only led him back into him having twice as much as he ever had. You see what I'm saying? So you can kind of say in the spirit, Job will be the example of these people who, became subject to not having, and then due to them not meditating and on the things they need to. Really, obviously, we're only talking about Jake. You see what I'm saying? But that would be like 2/3, and then the 1/3 would be, you know, the Jakes that wasn't, you believers, you Israelites that that won't be without, due to what you're going through the meditation process on the things you need to, which is that pleasure and the anger. And obviously, in this time, the pleasurable things. You see what I'm saying? Due to the moratorium thing going on, World War III brewing, all these mandates coming back out. They got the third juice injection, all that, man. So the second Job will represent you, which is him being with and his way being prosperous. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So I'm gonna read that again. This Ezekiel 9:4, and the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry. You see, that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And that was what? Them getting a mark of exemption. You see, because that word mark right there, the Y goes into exempt. All right. It says, and to the others, he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. You see what I'm saying? And that's due to what? And he got busy on everybody, man. It says slay utterly old and young, and that's due to them not what? Meditate, man. Meditating on the things they need to. You see that? But anyway, it says slay utterly old and young, because that's which will make your way prosperous. That's when it basically you manifest, the things. It's a manifestation tool. It says slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my seat, and begin as my. So they became prosperous in that sign and crime. They were prosperous. It was getting somewhere doing that. You see. Then they began at the ancient men that which were before the house. See that? Hey, man. And hey, let me read this. It says, and he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. You see, and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. And that's the time we in, man. That's the time we in. All right. So what you understanding that, Joshua 1:8, this is the book of the law. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. You see, that thou mayest observe to do all to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. See? So that's the antidote to these times, man. And then once again, going back to the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon on that word meditate, it says of the groaning and sighing of men. That's gonna get you delivered poetically to speak. You see, you want to meditate and speak it like really, because when we speaking like now, it's a meditation right now. You see what I'm saying? It says so because you can meditate, in your head when you just imagining, or you studying, or you speaking, which you will know because you either speaking on the anger of the Lord, or the pleasurable things of the scriptures of the prophecies, or the angry things, man. I can't wait to destroy these people. Lord gonna destroy these people. He needs to destroy these people. We can't wait till he gives us the power. Then the other part will be, we deliver. You see what I'm saying? Which is really simultaneously with that, but when we eating and these people ain't got nothing, you know, our waters being sure, we're flourishing. He exalted us at that time. Everybody seeing we call by his name, the chariots coming to get us. You see what I'm saying? 7 women taking hold, all that, man. People begging you, from other nations, like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, Khan. So that's basically that. Look, yeah, Khan. It says the heart of the righteous will meditate what to answer. Also to remember anything. You see, so you want to be putting these things in remembrance, which goes into the last part of this, which is what they say when have uh, uh, and our ancient forefathers, paraphrasing, trusted in whoever trusted in the Lord was forsaken. You're not gonna find it. See if I can grab it real quick. Yeah, Khan, Sirach 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see look up the generations of old, which would be what? Remembering, which would be what? Meditating. See that? And see and see, because you can't physically see, but it's gonna show you because you're gonna basically when you read about something that happened that's in the past, it's basically like you can see it. You get like insight on it. You might get a visual. You see what I'm saying? You get an idea of what it may look like. It says, look at the generations of old and see did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So, that name was always powerful. Fearing the Lord was always to the point we wouldn't feel no evil thing, you know what I'm saying? And trusting in Yahweh Shah, you see what I'm saying, always had us right. You see what I'm saying? Like it's how the scripture say, lean not to thy own understanding, but trust in the Lord. You see what I'm saying? When we do that, it's proven. We look back on it like, yeah, well, nobody ever confounded. Like David was confounded when he trusted in the Lord versus what Saul's trying to get him to trust in or something else. He trusted in the Lord and he slew Goliath, man. Put the stone in his forehead and cut his head off, man. You know? You know what I'm saying? And then we see it on the highways when we trust in the Lord when they want to take us out of the scriptures. Like, I want to hear you. Nah, we're gonna bring these scriptures out because these scriptures are gonna show I'm gonna stand the test of time. You're not gonna confound me by trying to play let's me and you talk. It's semantic shenanigans game. You see? Nah, man. So that's that. So it's been proven. So you're supposed to remember that supposed to look to all these old accounts, historical events, these historical records of the deliverance of our peoples, the acts of Yahweh Bashem Shah. Well, Yahweh Bashem Shah for our people, man. You see what I'm saying? So, which is, basically at a point in time, it was just Yahweh, then Yahweh Shah came on the scene, manifested on the scene, I'll say, in the flesh. He was always around, he's the word. But, you know what I'm saying? He always brought forth the will. But anyway, that's basically it, man. See that? So, since I say that, let me go ahead and grab this. This is second Ezra's. Shit. Matter of fact, let me grab this real quick. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, the thing that has been is that ain't what I want. Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. To everything there is a season, you see, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. See that? It's a time to do a bunch of different things. And it's right now a time for mercy, man. All right. It's a time to meditate on these acts of Yahweh Shem Shah so we can manifest, success. Manifest the success that he said we would get. In famine, in 6 troubles, he shall deliver thee. And 7 shall no evil touch thee. You see what I'm saying? You want to meditate on that, study on that, imagine how that'll look. In famine, thou shalt famine and destruction, thou shalt laugh. You want to imagine and study or speak. You see what I'm saying? Or sigh and cry about those things. You see, in order to manifest, the prosperity of it, whatever it may be. All right, and I'll end on this, Lord willing. This is 2nd Ezra 9, and matter of fact, let me grab this really quick. This is Iraq 37, and matter of fact, that's 35. Yep, it's Iraq 35 and 20. Mercy is seasonable in the time, you see, of affliction. See that? So we want to meditate on that all that mercy, and we want to go back to the accounts when there were times of affliction, and obviously the Lord brought forth His mercy, that legendary mercy, man. Because that's when mercy is. That's the only time mercy is in season. It's only supposed to snow when it's winter, man. You see what I'm saying? So all this hell breaking forth, and devil not having no mercy. It's the only time when that's when the mercy is in season. See that? It says as clouds of rain in the time of drought. And like I said, I'll end on this by the Spirit. This is 2nd Ezra 9. And I'm gonna jump to the point. It says, verse 13. It says, therefore, 2nd Ezra 9 and 13, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. See that? And it said, then answer I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. And that's why, because like I say, wage is greater. Well, and that's why, because they're not going to meditate on these things and make their way prosperous. All right. So Joshua 1 and 8, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. All right. So Lord, when it's been edifying, I'm gonna close out. We give our honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father, in the name of the Son, Yahweh, by show me how Shah. Wahagadash Wadi Habashmi Al Shah for the Holy Spirit. Shalom, everybody tuned in. Sincerity. Truth.